just afraid for their brothers because all people see is different colors. My brothers cannot walk on the street with peace, scared that they might end up on their knees. I hear the sirens. I know I didn't do anything wrong, but I'm going to fight because I'm strong and I know I belong. Or do I? They always assume. What, is because my skin is melanated? Do you think I'm not capable of your acceptance? I'm not surprised. I understand the hatred in your eyes. I've seen it before. Your eyes glow with intensity because you know, I know, we can never be the same. I'm not looking for your approval anymore. Or am I? My daddy told me I have one chance. I can't mess it up because I don't get the chance, the multiple chances a white person does, and that's just the way it is. Black parents have to have the talk, where the parent breaks down to their child a series of steps to follow faultlessly and cautiously when being pulled over. When you're black, nowadays you may not come home for something as simple as a speeding ticket. Racially profiled. How can I walk the street and be confident when all people see is all the bad they want me to be? No one understands unless you look like me. Even then, we turn against each other with like-mindedness and bitter hearts. The law enforcement has us turning on each other quicker than the word betrayal traces on your lips. Black police officers beating up black brothers again so they can tell the world, show the world they don't associate with their own race. Because society makes it clear and always has that we are not worth enough, not capable enough, strong enough, or human enough. The youth of black children is hindering. They cannot play sports without being labeled as aggressive. Our community, the black community, has always been attacked. When will this end? Will we stop it, or will we keep filling the history books with the same stories? This society gives anxiety silently. Thank you.
A conversation. And of course the question comes up of, oh my gosh, how are you? Everyone knows the temptation it is to just lie. Say, I'm fine, I'm doing great, struggling with grades, struggling with normal life. However, internally, that's not just all there is. A lot of times we look at ourselves and think, okay, I have to have it all together. However, where's the beauty in that? A lot of times we look at ourselves around our family, our friends, the people who are supposed to know us best, and we see all the things they've overcome, the things they strive, and see the things they've come from. And we look at ourselves and think, okay, where are my problems at? And now looking back at how that goes in the black community. We are all aware of our history. We come from oppression, slavery, and a list of other trials and tribulations. However, where does that leave us? Where does that leave our own perspectives on our own struggles? Being a black student in schools, striving to seek an education. Okay, that debate in civics class, the opposite sides, and not seeing that as a real struggle. There's always something we're going to say was bigger than our own issues, because as humans, it's our ways in to invalidate our own struggles. But here's the thing. There's beauty in every single trial. Now, black mental health. Going back to the point of we invalidate ourselves. We like to oppress our own minds. We like to say, oh, well, my problems aren't as big as this. We don't like to talk about the good, bad, and the ugly of our lives. We like to point out the fact, oh, I'm doing great in my education. I'm going to be first generation. I'm going to be all of this. However, we don't talk about the internal battles we face. For me, being a biracial student in a very melted pot of a world, coming from an African American family and an Asian family. Both are on a spectrum. However, those are two very different ends of the spectrum. Generational curses was something always heavily talked about in my family. And knowing my parents, it was always the statement of, it ends with us. And of course, that is a beautiful statement. And a lot of times I look back and I say, okay, my test is not as big as my grandmother coming from Vietnam, or my debate and history class bigger than my grandmother going to the first black school. You know, seeing my problems really oppressed all of everything that I faced. And looking back, I found myself in so much pain and turmoil trying to figure out of who I was in the mix of that. In the black community, we stand strong. However, in the 2020 census conducted by the National Mental Health Society, it reported that 65% adult African Americans and blacks reported more likely to have feelings of sadness, hopelessness, and worthlessness than adult whites. Now, a lot of times we think the black community is so strong, it's so beautiful, we endure and we prevail. However, we don't talk about the hardships of doing that. We always show the end result, but we don't always talk about what happens in the in-between. We don't talk about the spectrum of the internal battles of not knowing where you lay in your own community. We don't talk about not knowing how to identify with your own people. And my encouragement as a community is to look and have that open conversation, to say, hey, I see you. I see where you're at. And also encouraging the vulnerability to say, hey, this is where I'm at. I don't understand what you're going through because maybe I'm not on the same spectrum as you. I am not in the same capacities as you. But also at the end of the day, seeing each other as a community. Our community has so many intellectual people, so many people going so many places. But at the same time, those people on pedestals also came from somewhere else. So in closing, instead of looking at the end goal, instead of oppressing your own struggles in your time of growth, learn to look at everyone's in between and see it all as a chance to grow and be better.
We're going to go ahead and get started and start announcing winners. And once again, I really appreciate everybody's coming out to support these young future leaders of America. You know, you can tell today that the future is bright with what we have coming, and I know it's always a dig on the youngsters coming through, but rest assured, I'm pretty sure that our elders had to dig on us, you know, so and we're going to have a dig on them, and they're going to get through it and be the leaders of the United States and beyond, like we know they will. So without further ado, and stop hearing me rambling on, and I know they're ready to get out of here and announce the winners. So I will have the president of the chapter to come up and announce the winners, please.
Awesome. Once again, good afternoon, everyone. The winners, of course, we have first and the second place winner. The first place winner, I hope I'm pronouncing the name correctly, Alana Duke.
Great job. Fred.
Congratulations on that. Then our second place is Samara Higgins.
Great job.
Awesome. Congratulations.
Great job. So, just to let you know that we didn't have a third place, but since they did so well and was a tight score, we decided to let her have the second and third place winning. So you got both of them. All right.
Awesome. So yes, once again, let's give these young ladies a round of applause once again, and for an awesome and great job they did today. And one thing I want to say about these two young ladies, just period, is that once you make a commitment to something, stick to that commitment. And no matter how good the weather is today, what it might have been, they're still here. And I truly appreciate y'all holding up to your commitment to your end, on your end. Thank you.
And we will make sure your classmates know that y'all got some money, and this wasn't just a come up and speak. No, this is a game prize. Just for a few, yes, ma'am.
Can I say something?
Sure.
Again, wonderful job, both of you all. Wanted to, on my stuff, I was writing feedback, because I don't know if you all are gonna get that back or not. Definitely like the rhythm and the ride, and I was noticing, okay, she's trying to get into it, those things, now that this part is over. With you, both of you all, but I could actually tell where you went and did extra research to find different facts. So as you all move forward, and I would encourage you all to find different organizations where you can continue to work on your speech, your speaking, and your writing for future, because that's gonna be huge when we move on to the next level. Is if you can get up there and give a speech and have your facts and keep people engaged, because you all did that. And that's part of you when you're, even for me as an adult sometimes, getting up there in front of somebody, keeping people engaged. So, great job on what you did. I wanted to give you all that feedback again, because I wasn't sure if you were gonna get the papers or not, but yes, very proud. Thank you.
Yes, I will make sure they get the feedback. I
And it's
will
gonna
sure.
be positive, not critical.
Yeah, yeah, because there's no point of us giving feedback to them, and I'm holding on to them. I'm not gonna get any better, trust me. Hey, I'm from the South. I'm from South Carolina, and I went to South Carolina State, and that's probably the worst. Oh, I'm sorry, Fred. I didn't mean to hit you like that. But please, I want you to, engage with them. Give them some feedback. And let them know that how much we appreciate them. And at this time, the formal part of the speech contest is over. Please mingle. We still have the building for a couple of minutes, and appreciate you. Oh, one announcement. Next month on the 18th is the great debate. We will start the great debate on the 18th of March. It's going to be at HCEC-TV, and we'll be against Hardin Central, North Hardin, E-Town High, and Fort Knox High. So we will have a debate. If you like these topics, hold on to your hats. I got a few for the great debate, and the final will be the following Saturday on the 25th. So I hope that y'all are on the debate team, because I think you will represent your schools well, and if not, just start one yourself. Get with the violence. So, other than that, thank you. Appreciate it.
Good job.